Hello and welcome to episode 4 of season 2. Still working on that dilemma. If you don't know what that is, listen to the previous episode. And, it's either chapter 4 or chapter 19. And I'm naming it An Actor Prepares. Because, yes, this week I've been incredibly busy acting in a friend of mine's movie, uh, which, oh, well, yeah, the neighbor has a dog, and this is one of the reasons I don't like pets. If I sound tired, it's because I really am. I'm recording this way later than I normally would. It's because I woke up late, my body hurts, and all of this is because of that great thing known as acting. And oh, by the way, the uh, drink today is regular old Coca Cola, which honestly, mm, I haven't drank in a while because, and I know this might come off as weird or something, but well, it's not like I have any objections to that. Is that I don't like regular old Coca Cola as much as I like Coke Zero. It's not a diet thing or anything, it's just that the regular old Coca Cola is overtly sweet and it makes me feel a bit sick when I drink too much of it. But Coke Zero actually tastes better, in my opinion. So, and I might be wrong, who knows? It's personal preferences. Okay, acting. Well, uh, as I said, during the last week, at the beginning of the week, we had practices, and you know, we practiced the scenes. It's obvious. And by the end of the week, oh, sorry, that was my phone. I don't know why. Now of all time, it decided to. Oh yeah, of course, fucking ads. And during the end of the week, from Tuesday to Thursday, 3 days, we were actually filming the movie. It's for a friend of mine, someone I knew from university, and it's, I think, her first movie. I'm not sure. I should have asked, but it's a student film, so there were. It's not, it's not a big budget sort of. It's a student film, and I'm not a good actor, to be honest. I'm actually really bad. But if you want a type-casted someone to be there for you, you can have me. I'll be there. I'll be there for you. Dun 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 dun. Dun. And here they needed one, and I think I did okay. I think, but well, I'm biased. So, and let me tell you, anything to do with a movie production is tiring. It's one of the things, if you know me, I am kind of on the overweight side. I think I've mentioned this before, but it movie production, whether you're an actor, a director, a writer, a cinematographer, anything in it is very exhausting. It physically wears you down, and it's one of the things where my overweightness really shows itself. Now, here I was the actor. Actors do have it much easier because beside your part, or what blocking do you have to do for the camera or remembering your lines, you're basically done. You don't have to worry about equipment. You don't have to worry about the scene transition, the editing, none of that. That's for the director. And I will have plenty to talk about when I do my own movie on that front if this week goes as I think it goes, next week I'm going to have some incredibly exciting news for myself. But I will share it with you. But yeah, it's still physically tiring. I am incredibly tired, and because of the quarantine and the lockdown and the whole thing, I haven't moved much. I'm not a big sports guy, but usually I move much more than I would do in the quarantine. And in the quarantine, I haven't moved at all, and my muscles are like not ready for this kind of exhausting work. So I am really in pain in some places. My shoulder blades hurt and my feet hurt because I had to stand up a lot. So yeah, that was the week. And I thought I'd talk about acting and why I say I'm not a good actor. Acting, in my eyes, has two parts. One of them is the uh, intentional part, the practicing that you do, the breathing stuff, the self rhythm that you have to learn, the physical aspects of it that, an actor needs to know a few certain stuff. How to breathe is very important. Thankfully, when I have gone to some acting classes back, God knows when. I don't remember the exact year, but I went to like two classes on acting, and I know the breathing pretty good. I can do it, but that's where my professionalism ends, because I haven't done any of the practices, the emotional practices. You need to be ready to let go of yourself and become someone else. You need to be, yeah, you need to suppress some emotions and elevate others, and then be ready to leave all of that behind and go back to being yourself, which is something very hard and I don't know how to do. Now there is the other part, which is the hereditary part, or the inherent part, where some people are just more comfortable around cameras. Thankfully, I am one of those. I feel more comfortable in front of the camera than most people that I know of. So that's what is actually I think I am doing fine, but I am not a good actor because I don't know how to create a character or do the subtle stuff that you need to do a character. And I just do myself basically. But you want me more depressed, I become more depressed myself. You want me more angry, I become more angry myself. So if the character is like me, good, you're gonna have a believable character. If it's not, I'm sorry, you did a huge mistake of casting me. And acting, is one of those things that gets too much attention and not enough attention at the same time. Actors are not the most important people in a movie, but at the same time, they are the ones that will represent the movie. When you think of The Godfather, I think, at least personally, you will think of Marlon Brando and Al Pacino first, Francis Ford Coppola second. And but when you go into making a movie, Francis Ford Coppola is first, and then Marlon Brando and Al Pacino. So yeah, it's one of those things that gets too much attention and yet not enough attention at times, because people think it's so easy and you shouldn't give good acting enough attention. But that is not true. That's why you get good actors like, well, my favorite one is Jeremy Irons, but we'll get to that another time. I'm not kidding. I will have a whole episode dedicated to Jeremy Irons. I was waiting for his birthday, so it's probably going to be a long time. He's born in September, but yeah, good ones from bad ones. You have to differentiate, But no, people think that no, no, no. You don't have to praise good acting because, well, the actors get too much attention. No, You have to praise good acting and say what makes it a good performance, and what makes a bad one. What makes Adam Sandler good in Punch Drunk Love and makes him miserable to watch in Pixels. These are stuff that, okay, I know these are stuff that nobody will probably other than myself care about, but well, I do care about this stuff because it's my fucking job, man. It's my career. But yeah, uh, as I said, by the way, an actor prepares. I think I know I took it as a joke because I took it from a movie. An actor prepares, which actually stars Jeremy Irons, but it is a book by. I'm really going to try not to butcher his pronunciation, but Konstantin Stanislavski. He wrote the book, and it's one of the most important bibles for acting. If you are into that whole method of Stanislavski method, which is where method acting is actually built upon, where you become sort of in your body and your mind, and who you are embodies the character. I know method acting is more recent than Stanislavski. It's more on Lee Strasberg's teachings than it is on Stanislavski. But that is the building blocks because, okay, this is, I think, something that at least I've come to notice in my research and my understanding. I know there are probably people who disagree with me, but I think this is an interesting thing to talk about is the different methods of acting. We have method acting. You have Daniel Day Lewis and all of that, which Marlon Brando, for example, or Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, more American people. I know Daniel Day Lewis is British, by the way, but they become the character in a sort of way. They let go of themselves and they become those characters that they are portraying. They become. That's my food. I will return shortly. So sorry, this is going to be one of those episodes which have a minor edit in the middle. It's because they brought my food. I usually re record episodes that have a major interruption in them, but I was liking what I was talking about, so I'm going to just continue that and have the burden of this minor joining of two audio clips. So, as I was talking, there is that method acting which you let go of yourself and become someone else. When you're watching Daniel Day Lewis play Bill the Butcher in Gangs of New York, he's no longer Daniel Day Lewis. You're seeing Bill the Butcher as it was written and developed. There is no trace of Mr. Day Lewis on there. That is the method acting. And then there is the Shakespearean acting, which actually happens more on British stages. You have the greats, John Gielgud and Laurence Olivier. You have Jeremy Irons, Christopher Lee. You have Peter Cushing. They were people that were more on the Shakespearean way of acting, which in plain terms, they bring the character onto themselves and add the character to themselves without removing themselves. I am so sorry. Um, Again, I know this sounds a bit weird and confusing, but let me say it this way. Imagine you're going to do a production of Hamlet, the famous Shakespeare play, and you have two actors. You have Al Pacino and you have Jeremy Irons there, two of the biggest actors of their time, and one a method actor, one a Shakespearean actor. When Al Pacino plays Hamlet, you are going to see the Hamlet that Shakespeare wrote to a T. It is what Shakespeare wrote. And if Al Pacino was removed and you put Robert De Niro in there, you will get minor differences, but the general idea will be the same. This is Shakespeare's Hamlet. But when you bring Jeremy Irons to play it, you're not going to see what Shakespeare wrote, you're going to see Jeremy Irons' Hamlet. In other words, if you remove Jeremy Irons and put in, for example, Christopher Lee, the late Christopher Lee, in that role, or let me think of another living one, you put, Peter Capaldi, for example, yeah, let's tie it into Doctor Who. If you put Peter Capaldi in place of him, you will get nothing of how Jeremy Irons was playing the character. And that's the most basic way, as I understand it. I am neither of these to a point, but if I were to choose one, I would say I'm more Shakespearean than I am method, because method acting is more about the skill. You learn, you practice, and you learn to suppress emotions, elevate emotions, and control your body to the most basic and subtle spasms of your muscle. So yeah, that's the method acting. Shakespeareans are more inherent. You evolve yourself, and basically you devour the character and make it you playing that character. Which is why when you see a good method actor, you see Marlon Brando, you see, oh my god, that movie with Marlon Brando, Apocalypse Now, was great. I didn't even notice Brando. It was like I was watching, I think his name was Curtis. I haven't looked it up, I just, Kurtz, I think. I just saw that character. Or I saw The Godfather. I didn't even notice Marlon Brando. It was Don Vito Corleone. That is a measure to say how good a method acting was. But when you go to Shakespearean acting, the reason you go to them is saying, oh my god, I can't believe how good Jeremy Irons did Humbert, and how good Humbert and Jeremy Irons were combined. And again, it's a matter of preference. I myself find it more interesting when I see a Shakespearean actor do a scene than I see a method actor do one. But again, that's basically preference. Both of these actors, both of these schools of thought have given us amazing performances. You have Dustin Hoffman, a method actor, do Lenny Bruce to amazing extents in the movie Lenny. You have Jeremy Irons again doing Humbert in Adrian Lyne's Lolita to a perfect amount. It's one of the best performances ever. You have Meryl Streep doing one hell of a job in The Iron Lady. I love her performance in that movie. And you have Nicole Kidman doing another great job in The Cold Mountain, which I actually like her performance in that movie also. So yeah, it's again preference. Anything art, I think, is more preference than it is, well, science. Science is more binary than art, in my opinion. But yeah, again, sorry for the minor edit, and if I sound bloated right now, it's because I just ate, and I actually devoured. I was really hungry. I hadn't had anything to eat since like 5 p.m. yesterday, so I was really hungry. It's 1 p.m. now. I said 1 a.m. 1 p.m. now. So this episode is going out much later. I'm sorry. I don't like this one to have a strict schedule, other than it needs to be on Friday. So there is that. But on the other hand, my OCD is making me to do, pick 1 hour and stick to it. But yeah, I don't have much time left. Anyways, that was this week. I am very tired. I'm actually kind of excited to see the movie. I always am, because I like seeing myself on the screen, and this is no different. Again, if you want to talk to me, please do message me on Anchor. I will play it at the beginning of the episode, or you can find me on other places, Instagram, Telegram, all of that stuff. And yes, I hope to see you all next week.